So here's a 40,000 McFarlane Ork that I bought. He's about 12 inches high. Looks really good here, I thought to myself, but I thought I'd just do some subtle changes in my last video. So I completely did a whole completely different thing now by the time you're seeing this video. I'd like to thank All Clowns Go to Hell and my good buddy from across the tree, through the sea and through the trees and everything else, all the way over there on the other side of the world, my good buddy, a longtime supporter, Loga. I'd like to especially thank him as well. But anybody that does watch these videos, I appreciate it. And here I was going to start this subtle paint job with some subtle airbrushing with detailed carmine. Just a little bit here and there, you know, just to faintly put it on. And then after I've done that, I read the comments on the YouTube page on my last video about this figure. Logan, my good buddy, said, "Hey man, why don't you put some rust in it?" And to be honest with you, I never thought about putting any rust in it. So that's exactly what I did on this build. I went with the rust look for sure. At least I tried. I'm going into the places where I don't think I could have done it, or my skill level isn't there, but I decided to try it anyway. This is just part one of probably several parts to come, because it's just easier for me to edit it and put it up this way. I'd rather get it all done and put it up from the beginning to completion. But the very last video I will do on this Ork, I'll have a comparison before and after, better shots. But right now, we're just going to take video by video until it's done and see how it goes. Some of the lighting in this video isn't great. I'm switching around camera angles. At some point in the middle of this video, I'll pop back in and tell you that I don't know what's going on with the camera. Maybe it's my camera, but anyway, right here, like I said, I'm doing some subtle changes with some detailed carmine, and from there we decided to switch it up. So I'll go back and forth in and out of the video to describe what I'm doing or what I'm trying to accomplish step by step. But right here I masked off the arms. I was going to leave those arms stock. Well, it's not stock. I was going to leave the arms how they came. I was just going to do some subtle changes with the body, and maybe some subtle changes with some detailed stuff on the back, like the wiring and different things like that. So I decided to go darker now. This is berry wine. I picked this up just for this build, and I kind of liked how it looked. Really a dark, deep red. I'm going to go over top of it now and really probably soak it in there really good. The next color coming up is a wrought iron. I really like this color. I picked this up by mistake a few weeks ago, and I used it on one of my builds, the Devil build. So I'm going in here now, and I'm just going to go in and really lighten the pressure down to maybe barely 16, 15 psi, and also backed out of the pressure on the back of the airbrush gun. And I'm going in just deeper in the cracks. So after I hit the body, I went back in and did the same thing to the arms, or the blades on the arms, whatever you want to call it, his arms. Just going back in, just soaking that dark color into the cracks, and just repeat, rinse and repeat until you get the desired look. So here's where I go back in with the berry wine and just feather everything out after I put some dark spots all through the piece. I just thought that was the thing to do. I don't know. We're just going with it. So going back in and just layering it out, feathering out, so to speak. Did the same thing with the arms here. I went in with the darker color, the Walt iron. And then I went back in again with the berry wine, deep berry red color. Same thing, rinse and repeat right here. The same thing, just went back in, thickened it up. This piece I didn't do the same time I did the body and the other arm because I wanted to make sure that's what I wanted to do. So if you're ever working on something and you're not sure, do 1 or 2 pieces before you do all 3 pieces the same way. That way, if you want to go back and backtrack and just redo a complete different paint, you don't have to fix all 3 pieces. At least that's how I'm looking at it. But here I'm just darkening it up some more, trying to get that look that I'm looking for. Now that I'm done where I think I need to be with the red and the deeper darks and the deeper red with a couple different coats, I go at some Pueblo orange, if that's what you want to call it, just Pueblo. It looked like the best rust color to me when I was picking it up in the store. So I'm going in now and I tried to attempt the sponge. It didn't work too well. Is it here? I just let this part in here so you could see, and I don't know what's wrong with my camera. I don't know what's wrong with it. Why is this clip here has a yellow tint to it? I wish it was a little more brighter because this is the part where I'm trying to put the detail in, and of course I'm out of frame, as you can tell. So I gave up on the sponge right quick, and I went right back in to using the brush and dabbing it in. I didn't want to make it too crazy or too blotchy looking where it looks stupid. I was trying to separate it so it looked like it was really rusty and broken down. Really a weathered look piece. I'm not going for, like I said, breaking the pieces up, taping everything off, making every piece look perfectly straight. I'm looking for a weathered looking armor here. At least that's what I'm trying to attempt to do. At the end of this video, I'll show you again exactly the final result that I came up with so far in this part 1. There's probably going to be several parts of this like I already mentioned, so I appreciate you guys watching. Here's what the camera should look like, but I'm here going in. I know it's going pretty fast. I'm trying to keep the video quick so I don't bore the hell out of you guys, so I'm just going in sporadically, putting it everywhere. At the end of the video, I'll show exactly how it turned out, but here's the same thing, just going in with that Pablo and just putting it everywhere like I think rust would be, and just putting it all over the place in different spots, just being very subtle with it to come back later and then highlight all the other stuff that's on the figure itself, like all the detail it has. Here's that wrought iron again. I really like this color, like I probably mentioned 1,000 times already, but I'm going to go in here inside the clip of the gun and the blade of the gun and just give these a base coat. Try to get like a definitely opaque looking base coat to separate from all the rust and everything from the part of the other gun, because a clip I guess would be replaced more often than the gun would be, so it would look much newer than the actual gun, in my mind at least. That's where I'm going with it. I'll come back later and I'll weather this up with maybe some highlights with some silver with some dry brushing as well. At least in my mind, that's what I think I'm going to do. At least that's what I'm going to do so far. I don't know. But I definitely probably come back and do some weathering on it when I'm done, so all the other colors aren't so bright. Here's where I'm going to go in and start just separating the different things that are on the gun. Separate the buttons, separate maybe some of the bolts and maybe some of the tubing. Just separate it all so it doesn't look like all one piece. That's the objective here. And that's where we're going so far. Same thing on the blade here. I just filled the blade in with this color, the same dark color I did with the clip. I'll come back later and weather it up, or maybe highlight some of the damage that's on the blade with a lighter color. But right now I'm just trying to separate everything with the dark color I think that should be separated with, or the things that are on the gun that need to be separated, so it doesn't look like it's just one big red piece. Here's the part that I was kind of interested in doing, or excited to do, put it that way, not interested, but here's the tubing. I decided to go some silver, straight silver. I looked up some pictures online, some old mechanic stuff, old machine parts, and I know this is bright right now compared to the rest of the gun. I'm going to come back later after everything's done, and where I need to be, I think I need to be with all the parts and the tubings and the bolts and all the different things I need to separate with different colors. I'm going to come back in with a light dark wash and go over top of everything. So I straight out of the bottle, Model Air red, if you didn't get to see that right there. It's just straight out of the bottle from Model Air. Model Air is a really good paint. Createx I use mostly, but I think the Model Air is a little more smoother. It covers a little better from the brush than it does with the Createx paint. It just seems to cover better when you're just brushing something on, in my opinion. Just going over top of the red sheathing, decided to go with the silver, the two black tubes for drainage tubes, and just a red sheathing across would look like a big giant electrical wire that goes from one side of the gun to the other. So thank you for watching this part of the build. This was episode 1. There's many more to come. I think I'm going to do it in increments instead on this one to see how it goes. It's just easier that way, like I said, I think in the beginning of the video. At the end here I'll show you the final result of this, but I do have to go in and do some touch up here before I continue, and maybe tweak little things here and there. And there's tape that wraps around those wires there that I left open. I think I might go with a lighter color, like a lighter white or a dull white. I don't know yet, or I just don't want to go straight black. Well, so far this is where we're at right now. I still got a little bit further to go after this stage, and I still got to come back and separate some of the nuts and bolts here, and see I'm going to go real deep with this one, and all the pipes and stuff. But this is where I'm at right now. Still, like I said, still a long ways to go. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with the head. I think I just might weather his helmet, but this is the body. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Until next time.